Ego is always your enemy, especially when you're trying to build a personal brand. Hi, my name is Andrea. I'm a personal branding videographer for coaches and entrepreneurs who are building their personal brands. I myself started my own journey of building my own personal brand here on YouTube, and my goal is to build a habit by posting 100 videos here. So follow my journey, subscribe, and notification bell so we can continue to learn together how to build our personal brands. So Ego is the Enemy is a book written by Ryan Holiday, who has vast experience in marketing before settling on his true calling of becoming a book writer, dissecting stoicism from ancient philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Socrates, and all leaders of history. Now, despite all of his success on the marketing world, Ryan will tell you in his book that he suffered a great deal of personal issues. He became a workaholic and all these ugly stuff that comes with chasing success. And shortly after he realized that, he tattooed on his right arm, "Ego is the enemy," to keep himself grounded. It's impossible for me to make this book justice, so I'm going to talk a few things that I internalized from the book. It's a book that's one of my favorites. Ryan Holiday is actually one of my favorite authors. I have the pleasure of talking to him once. He carries these coins that when he pulls up, they read "Memento Mori." That means remember that you're going to die in Latin. And that is a reminder for himself to keep focusing on the important things. And the reasons that I'm excited to talk about this book now is because it's partially one of the reasons why I'm very careful in building my own personal brand. Because when I was working with a few clients, I noticed that they were superficial. They were focusing on the glamour of being a coach. They wanted to project an image that they not necessarily weren't, or they just wanted to project an image that they were more successful than they truly are. And that really bugged me down. And I myself, when I started on this business working, I wanted to go like Ricky Bobby. I just wanted to go fast. I just wanted to get things done, go as quick as possible. And that also led me to a path that I didn't like. Now, I don't want that for you guys. I just want you guys to keep yourself focused on the important things. So I'm going to share with you some points about the book that might help you on your journey if you're just starting to build your personal brand, or if you have vast experience building a personal brand, maybe they serve as a reminders to keep yourself grounded. And one point of the book, he discusses the history on Genghis Khan, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. One of the strengths of Genghis Khan is that he adopted the mindset of always being a student. He knew that he didn't knew everything. So each time he conquered a country, he got the best from the best of that culture. He immersed himself on the culture, the sciences, the philosophies, and he just absorbed all that before going to the next country. Now compare that versus the mindset of a lot of people who are trying to build their own businesses and their personal brands. They think they already know, or they think they have it down, but they really don't. And I have seen it time and time again. And they don't realize that that kind of ego actually hinders growth. It actually stops us in our tracks. Some of the most successful people that I know personally, they are very, very, very humble. And they know that they still have a lot to learn. And that's why they're very successful. Also, that's a total myth, because the more we succeed, the more we find ourselves in new situations. The promoted soldier needs to learn politics. The promoted salesman needs to learn management. The promoted chef needs to learn how to run a restaurant. So the learning never stops. And the thing is that one of the points in the book is it tells you don't tell yourself a story, which is Ryan's nice way of saying don't get high on your own supply. The book explains how you shouldn't tell yourself that you're going to build an empire, because the real facts don't support it. The founders of YouTube didn't set out to have a platform where billions of people will upload and share their knowledge, their content, and their stories. At first, they built YouTube just to share funny videos. Jeff Bezos didn't set out to become the richest man in the world. Yes, he wanted to expand his business, but at first he was just selling books. Ryan explains how successful startup investor Paul Graham, he was a successful investor in Airbnb, Dropbox, Reddit, among other successful startups. And he gives the following advice to entrepreneurs, which is to start with a small bet and scale your ambitions as you go. Make it about the work and the principles behind it, not about this glorious vision that makes a good headline. But that's our Achilles heel, right? We want to tell ourselves this story about how great we are. In the book, he tells the story of what happened to Napoleon. Now, Napoleon had engraved on Josephine's marriage ring the words "to destiny." And what happened to Napoleon? He got a divorce, he was defeated, he was exiled, and now he's infamous. Now, one of the main reasons I work still part-time as a videographer is because when I tried to go all in, I found myself with clients who were more worried about the illusion of the projection of being successful more than actually helping clients. And I did not want to abide by that. That is not what my personal brand is all about. My personal brand is about trust and authenticity. I did not want to feel the pressure to work with somebody because I needed to pay the rent. So I took a 9-to-5 and decided to focus on learning better ways to manage my own business, focusing on my craft and focusing on the craft of marketing and telling stories. And I have no regrets. I'm very happy with how things are turning out. There's the Greek word called euthymia, which literally means in English tranquility, in which the Roman philosopher Seneca explains that it means to have a sense of staying in our own path, of not being distracted by things that intersect our path. Ryan turns and explains that it's not about beating others, it's not about having more than others. It's about going where you set out to do in the first place. It's about accomplishing the most of what you're capable of what you chose to do. It's like be all you can be, no more, no less. And that is why it's important in defining what exactly you want. Ryan explains on the book, for example, that if you don't have a definition of how much money you want, then by default, it becomes more money. Now, having this definition causes a person to focus their energy on filling their bank account, energy that is diverted from their true calling, which ultimately causes a person to lose their ability to say no. And that is why, in my own experience, is the reason that I say no to a lot of clients. I want to say no. I want to build my personal brand the way I want. Personally, I have a list of other videographers that when I see that I'm not a good fit for a person, I just refer them to that other videographer. Do I leave money on the table? Yes. Do I get to build my personal brand the way I want it? You betcha. And by the way, Ryan explains in the book that the pursuit of money is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that you need to be self-aware of it. Guys, what I love about this book is that Ryan, like a great historian or a teacher, dissects how ego or the lack of ego made a mark on history, and how we can learn from it from either emulating or avoiding repeating the same mistakes. This book is great. I cannot recommend it enough. This book is for people who are trying to build something, who are trying to build a personal brand, who are trying to build a business. This book is for creatives. This book is for people who just want to be good people. This book is great for humanity. So if you have enjoyed this video, click like. It helps more than anything. Also, if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing. Question of the day. What do you wish that you were more patient on? Comment below, and I'll see you on the next video.